Welcome. Are you curious about how to live a hale and hearty life? How about learning how to access reliable evidence, leverage educational resources, and craft experiences to age confidently and energetically? To do so is to tap into a legacy. Legacy is about the useful what's that you gift others so they can learn something from your experience. And the useful what's are time, effort, and money. And what I want to do is share with you what I would call a blueprint for legacy, a blueprint for legacy as you age confidently. And what I'm going to be doing is unpacking some words for you that are in the back of legacy here as you see it. And by unpacking these words, tapping into this concept of blueprint, what I'll be doing is giving you a head start on the use of legacy as a way in which to age confidently and to live a hale and hearty life. Now, let's take a look at these words. They're in groups of three, so three groups of three, and I'm going to bring them forward through a diagram. So you can think of this as a diagram model that you can use yourself as you follow along. You can draw it, and or later you can edit it. You can add, alter, or delete it, whatever feels comfortable for you. And these words, they're basically an introduction to what is possible for you using legacy as a way in which to age confidently in this hale and hearty approach to living life. To start with, I'm going to work with the three E's, and they are evidence, education, and experience. So, what I'm sharing with you here is the evidence is what you've collected. Now, it can be in your memories, it can be in boxes where you have put your poetry, you put your trip logs that of where you've been, what you've done. You have stored away, you've curated some evidence that you can tap into. And then this education is a reminder about learning and educating, because as you take your evidence, you can then share that with others, and or you can learn what to do with that evidence as you move into remembering your experiences, but more so about crafting new experiences that bring this hale and hearty life to you. Next, I just want to bring to the foreground history, presence, and mystery. And it lines itself up in the following way is that history is linked to your evidence. So if you think about your memories and what you've curated, it has a history to it. Hi, here's my story. This is the evidence that you're tapping into. The mystery is my stary. Stary is Scottish for star. Therefore, it's your future, where it is that you're going. So, the experiences that you want to bring into your life, your hale and hearty life. And therefore, there is this presence about being between history and mystery, where you are in the moment. So if you think of history is this is what I'm paying attention to, mystery is this is my intention. And when I balance my intention and attention, I have my sense of presence. And it's being able to leverage all of these that is going to be of great assistance to you. And what it does is that the history is bringing forth the evidence, the education is bringing forward the presence, and your experience is bringing forward your mystery. Next, I want to bring to the foreground wealth, health, and wealth. Now, wealth, Wealth, comes from wheel, Weal. Now, wheel is about the common good, the prosperity of the commons. And to be able to do that, it comes from how you have generated your wealth of evidence. In other words, you may have stored away monies for philanthropic efforts, or you have taken your career insights and brought them to the foreground, looking at a business that you want to continue or start something a little bit new. There is this wealth of evidence, this history that you can bring forward to be able to use it in living your Hale and Hearty life. Now, the next thing is the health of education. Health comes from HEAL, which is to heal, take care of yourself, your well being. So, through injury or illness, you may have to heal. But the heal also links into your emotional and mental capacity, your the feelings you have, the thoughts that you have, and being able to get those aligned with living a Hale and Hearty life. And how do you bring that health together? And that health is tapping into education. So the education that you're going to go look for to help you out, but also when you go to share what you would like to share with the world is you're going to use some kind of education approach. And the best way to remember this is when you listen, you learn, where you share, you educate. And what you love to learn is what you will educate. And therefore, what you educate is what you would love to learn. And when you bring this under the banner of health and boosting your well being through this lens, then what you're able to do is to remain present in whatever it is that you're doing. Now, what this does is it leads to wealth, WELL. And well comes from the sense of well being, well living from a holistic point of view. How do I live from the whole? And therefore, the experiences you set up are ways in which to leverage your wealth so that you can tap into the mysteries that are unfolding for you and find out ways in which to develop your education to create those experiences, but also to reflect on those experiences to give you more evidence for living a Hale and Hearty life. So all of these are combining so that what you do is you have a great understanding of bringing all of this together. So the evidence, the wealth of evidence as history, the health of education as presence, the experience of wealth, the wealth of experiences from your mystery. And when you bring all of these together and you leverage them, and you think of them as a blueprint, maps, models, diagrams, then what you're doing is you're starting to frame up legacy, what it is that you want to share so others can learn from your experiences because of your use of time, effort, and money. So the time might be what you put into whatever it is that you're doing. The effort is the oomph that goes with that. The money can be maybe what you're purchasing or the philanthropic aspect of what it is that you're doing. When you bring this time, effort, and money together, under the banner of a legacy contribution, then persons can learn from you about how you're doing it. And therefore, what you're doing is live the legacy that you intend to leave. And when you do that, what happens is you can bring forward this sense of the A here is about aging and this aging process that you're going through and how are you looking at it under what lenses? Solo aging, aging as a grandparent? What are the ways in which you're looking at your aging? And what's the felt safety that goes with that? Because that's important. How do you manage safe systems and lead safer practices? What's this felt safety aspect, this holistic psychological safety, social cultural safety that is giving you a sense of comfort so that you continue to move forward? Then what's also you're tapping into is the creative process, is that as you go into the experiences and you're leveraging your experiences, there's a creative process that you can tap into. That which you already know, but also what are other ways in which to tap into the creative process? How can you tap into the muse and metaphors that are in front of you? One great muse and metaphor is nature. How does walking with nature, tapping into it as a creative process, help you with living this hale and hearty life? But also the encouragement of movement. This is really important, is when you think about movement from a physical sense all the way up to a social cultural. So your legacy from a time effort is walking and who might be walking with you and sharing stories, but also it's the movement, that social cultural movement that you're tapping into, that your legacy is supporting. When you bring all of this together, then what you're able to do is tap into this reliable evidence that you're curating so that you can bring it all together in terms of leveraging the education, the learning and educating, so that you can leverage your experiences. And therefore, you can play with your history and your mystery and being present in living a hale and hearty life. And that is a wonderful way in which to age confidently as you live the legacy that you intend to leave. So I have an ask of you, is that wherever you found this video, there must be a place to share comments. I would love to learn from you. What has landed? What else do you need explained? Because there are other videos that will go into each of these components a little bit differently. So, for example, how might you curate evidence and then bring it together, maybe writing a memoir? How might you look at education and ways of educating, of which mentoring is a great way, because it naturally what you're doing when you're having conversations. But there are 11 other educating approaches you can tap into. How might you create an experience, then experience it, and then reflect on that experience and what it does and what you can bring from that in living your hale and hearty life? Those are just examples of other videos that I'll be adding into the mix about using legacy as a way in which to live a hale and hearty life. Now, I also have available one-on-one legacy mapping or legacy mentoring, if that's something of value and you want to have some one-to-one conversations with me. I have one program. It's called Legacy Mapping, where I'll actually sit with you online over an hour and 90 minutes, and we'll map out what your legacy story contributions project might be to give you your first draft understanding of that. Also, there is a cohort course and an online course called Legacy Mastery, where you can come and learn about bringing all of what I've just shared with you together so that you're creating the first beta, first pillar of your legacy project to find out if it's the way you want to go. And then for some of you, you may want to walk straight in. You've got a really great idea and you want to tap into, I want to get it going. I have my own legacy project called Awareness from Forests, which is up on YouTube. And I've helped a few other persons get their legacy project organized and accelerated it. So I have what's called a Legacy Accelerator program that is open to you. That's a one-to-one as well. Or maybe there's a couple of people that you're interacting with and you want to bring them in. So it could be 1 to 2, one to 3. Thank you for watching the video. And just to be sure, the two website addresses that are here, wealthmovement.com/legacy, that's where you will find the booking link so that we can have a chat about the one-to-one mapping, the Legacy Mastery course, the Legacy Accelerator program, because I want to make sure that I can be of assistance to you. I can truly help you. And I'm just asking for 15 minutes of your time. If you want to look at the YouTube channel, Younger, Older, Elder, and you can listen in and see more about who I am, you might be there now. But also, if you would rather just send me a question by email, then if you go to wealthmovement.com/contact, what you're able to do is there's a form to fill in. Just ask your question and I'll get back to you. I usually get back within 24 hours because email comes directly to me and I can respond right away. So, so I think that's it for now. I look forward to working with you, assisting you, and as always, and in all ways, take care.